Hi, I'm Cameron. I'm a sex educator, which means that I work with people to break down what feels good for them and why it feels good for them. And today I'm going to be talking with you about anal sex. Anal sex is one of those topics that gets misunderstood, and a lot of misinformation gets spread around about it, which is why I want to break down 3 of the most common myths that people have about, well, backdoor play. So one of the biggest misconceptions about anal sex is that it has to involve penetration, specifically penetration with the penis, but that's not true at all. You can use your hands, you can use a mouth, you can use an insertable toy, whatever you feel like. Anal sex can look like a multitude of things. I think that media plays a huge role in how we think about and talk about sex, but it also is a big culprit in perpetuating these ideas about what sex looks like, specifically that anal sex needs to hurt. And let me just say, pain is not something that you should be feeling during sex. Pain is a signal that something is actually wrong. But there are several things that you can do to make sure that you do have a pleasurable experience and pain-free anal sex, including using lube. The anus is not a self-lubricating part of the body, so lube is an absolute must when you're having anal sex. You also want to take your time and communicate with your partner. So using lots of lube, making sure that you're lubricating the area and communicating if something feels discomfortable or not good, you need to adjust. Being able to have that communication with your partner too also ensures that you have a pain-free and pleasurable experience. So having conversations about wanting to try anal sex with your partner can be scary, but it doesn't have to be. It can look as simple as, hey, I've been really interested in trying out this thing. What do you think about that? Or also using an example of media. So if you see something in a magazine or a TV show saying, oh, that looks really sexy. What are your thoughts about that? Or is that something we can maybe try tonight? And having a conversation about it without the expectation that you need to jump right into it can also help to ease the mood and really create a safer space for you to explore what that looks like for you and setting that up for you and your partner. So communication doesn't stop just because you've started having sex. Even during sex, it's important to check in with a partner. You can use a safety signal. So a lot of people like to use colors to signal how they feel during sex. So green for everything is good, yellow for maybe we need to slow down, and red for we need to stop. So creating some sort of checklist for you and your partner can be good while you're having sex in the moment to check in with each other and still communicate. And most importantly, you want to make sure that you are breathing. It is important that we're not tightening up and tensing up our bodies, making sure that we are breathing, we are relaxed, we are in a comfortable headspace and a comfortable environment. This helps to loosen up our body and just make everything run a bit smoother. So this is one of the biggest points and questions that people have when they hear that I'm a sex educator. Does enjoying anal sex make me gay, right? And the answer is no. The only thing that makes you gay is actually being gay or queer or a lesbian, or however you identify. People of all sexual orientations and genders and identities enjoy and have pleasurable anal sex. It does not make you gay. Enjoying anal sex doesn't mean anything about who you are, who you love, anything like that. It's just a thing that you enjoy and that you find pleasurable, and that's okay. And it's important that we talk about gender and gender roles when we're having a conversation about anal sex as well, because for this idea of does anal sex make me gay, right? This comes up a lot, especially for masculine folks and masculine of center folks, because we are conditioned as a society to equate masculinity with strength, with power, with being in a position of control and taking. So to say that you are somebody who is both masculine and that you enjoy being penetrated during sex, you enjoy being the penetrative partner during anal sex, that is really scary for a lot of masculine folks. And it's something that's really hard to work through, especially when you're getting tons and tons of messages saying that that's wrong, that's deviant, that's not something that a man would do. And for feminine people too, people socialized as women, as femmes, these are also messages that we receive as well. If we proclaim that we enjoy anal sex, that we enjoy penetrative sex and sexual activities, we're called sluts, we're called whores, we're called deviants. And all these things are really rooted in gender roles and assumptions that we place on people, not for who they are, but just for the gender that they identify as or that we assume that they are. And that's why it's so harmful. Adhering to gender roles can also have an effect on our self-esteem as well. And when we don't feel confident, we don't feel strong enough to bring our desires into the bedroom, to talk about the things that we want, and to be the sexual empowered person that we want to be. Something that's really fun to do is creating a yes, no, maybe list. Sitting down on a piece of paper and thinking about different sexual activities that do sound pleasurable for you or don't, and either sharing that with a partner or just reading them out loud to yourself. It can be a fun way to look at different acts and take away the judgment, to just see, is this pleasurable for me? Is this something that sounds appealing for me? And if so, how do I want to explore that? Do I actually want to do these acts? Or is this something I maybe want to look for the next time that I'm seeking out porn or sexually explicit media? So a yes, no, maybe list is a list that you can write down in a journal, on a piece of paper, in your notes app, whatever. And you make a list of all the things that you are enthusiastically yes about, that you know that you enjoy. Maybe list stuff that sounds good, but you might want to do a bit more research, look into it a bit more, and absolutely not, I don't want to do this list. And this can be really helpful for exploring the things that you know that you already enjoy and something that you may be interested in starting to incorporate and enjoy. So if you're having any of these questions, or having a question of, am I normal for liking and wanting to have anal sex? The answer is yes. Normal is something that I don't really like to use in sex education because everyone's normal is different. And it's important that we make room for our individual desires. What do we want as individual people? And leading that into the conversation rather than looking at the assumptions of what other people think that we should like and enjoy.